Another reason why people tend to become corrupt is that there are opportunities of corruption. When opportunities are provided for people to be corrupt, they have a tendency to become corrupt. If the system is such that the opportunities are minimized, then one would find that much less corruption or no corruption is taking place. One of the reasons is that there is authority given to people without accountability. When you give somebody authority, then there is a tendency that the person becomes corrupt. And if there is no checks, there are no possibilities of the people enjoying authority to be questioned. That is what is normally the understanding, which is well known, that authority tends to corrupt, and absolute authority corrupts absolutely. So there has to be some kind of a check, some kind of accountability. What we find that corruption is more likely to take place if there are no systems of proper checking. If there are systems in place for checking, for knowing whether a person is doing things wrong, then the possibility is much less that there's going to be corruption. We know, for example, in our country, when we are on the motorway, there are signs that the camera is looking at us, and we can see that the motorway police is actually checking our speed. So we don't tend to exceed the maximum speed limit. But if we know that there is nobody looking at us, there is a tendency that we do things which are unacceptable because they are of immediate benefit to us. So if there are proper checks, if people know that if they're going to do something wrong, they're going to be held responsible for it, then obviously the tendency of doing things wrong is going to be lessened. And an accompanying reason why corruption becomes widespread is that the people who are corrupt, and even if they get caught, they're not punished. So if punishment is not given to people who are caught for things that they did wrong, then other people also get inclined to be corrupt, because they know that there is a possibility that either they will not be caught, or even if they are caught, they will not be punished. So this fear of punishment is what causes people to check their inner inclinations to be corrupt. Not everybody can be made absolutely dead honest, because there are temptations within ourselves. We tend to go for more and more benefits of this life. If there are opportunities to have more of wealth, more of funds, more of worldly benefits, people would go for it by hook or by crook. But if we know that the road leading to these benefits is not easy, there are checks, there are problems, then people are going to not go for corrupt ways. And obviously punishment for the corrupt is one important reason why the tendency amongst people for corruption can be seriously restrained. This is obviously something which we can witness in different societies. I mean, where we have proper enforcement of punishment, swift punishment, well, it gives its results. In many of the Western countries, we find that in traffic, as and when there is violation, there is an immediate reprimand, immediate some kind of a stamp or some payment that is demanded from the person who is violating. And the end result is that these penalties, these checks, these threats of withdrawal of license, etc., they play an important role in enabling the person to remain within limits, despite the fact that he or she has temptation to violate the laws. So punishment for all people without any consideration of status, wealth, etc., is what can cause people not to be corrupt.